class of 2019. It's been a long 12 years that somehow passed in the blink of an eye, right? The trips to practice that seemed endless, the homework and assignments that seemed endless. For parents, the laundry, the cooking, and the eye rolls that seemed endless have now ended. Well, not the laundry and the eye rolls. You're gonna get those for many more years to come. But you have to know that what you did with your students as your children really paid off because we think they're awesome. So thank you so much. And happy Father's Day to all of the dads in the audience today. Graduates, thank you so much for giving me this honor today. I am truly humbled, and I'm actually very surprised that you picked me to give you words of wisdom when you know very well that I have the sense of humor and maturity of a 12-year-old boy. But you voted for me, and now I'm here, so I'm saying stuff. Truth hurts. This is my 20th baccalaureate speech, and after year 2, I vowed never to repeat a message, and I haven't. But this year I was stumped. After all, there's only so much wisdom one person can give without being repetitive. Each time I tried to find something new to say, I felt as if I had been punched in the gut. I kept scolding myself for not writing it and not having new ideas. But last week on a Wawa coffee run, the message I wanted to give became clear. Here's why. When I got to Wawa, the door was held open for me by a random woman. Later, I dropped a quarter at the register and a nice older gentleman picked it up. When I was leaving, a young driver waved me ahead of her to go to the exit. By that point, I was kind of shaken by all the polite gestures. After all, Wawa usually looks like a battle scene in a gladiator movie. So I wondered, did a plane crop dust the area with Prozac that morning? Or, more positively, are manners and courtesy slowly making a comeback in our society? But the courtesy wasn't the only part of the experience I enjoyed. I also enjoyed making connections. You see, I've noticed that many of us seem to go through our lives just passing by each other, looking at our phones, looking away from the human in front of us or next to us, not really connecting. Maybe out of fear, maybe because we're in a rush, or sadly, maybe because some of us just don't care about people who are not a part of our inner circle. And I'm nervous about how far this disconnect can go. So my challenge to you, class of 2019, is to make connections, even if it's through small gestures of courtesy, like the ones I experienced that day at Wawa. We, all of us, are just trying to find our way through life, make a name for ourselves, build a future, secure our happiness. But sometimes we do this at the expense of another person's peace of mind. If we're only thinking about ourselves, what happens to society? If the unwritten rules of shared spaces and courtesy continue to disappear, we are moving toward the purge. So how can you make those connections through courteous acts? Oh, I have some ideas. You're getting them. First, call your grandmother. She's never going to text, so call her. It just might make her day. It will definitely make her day. Hold the door open for the person behind you, no matter how slowly he is walking and how awkward you feel standing there holding a door for 8 years. Your small little act of kindness just might put a spring in his step. Oh, here's a good one. You only have a few days to practice this one. Don't leave a parking space at Delsey going 80 miles an hour in reverse. Maybe, just maybe, practice courtesy and take a look around to see if somebody else is already in motion, like me. Next, don't flip off the car that unnecessarily pulled out in front of you and then went 10 miles an hour for no particular reason. Maybe that driver was distracted by a stressful situation and didn't mean to make you annoyed. Not tailgating and honking loudly could be the glimpse of courtesy that person needed in that moment. There's another one for you old senior trip people. Maybe don't yell about a raccoon sighting at a Disney hotel. We're from Franklinville. You could wake up the family sharing the hotel with you who paid good money to take their children on vacation. Children who need sleep so that they don't punch Mickey the next day. And maybe, just maybe, don't run through public spaces, open hands slapping each other on the back of the neck. Be courteous of the people who have to view it. Class of 2019, you need to realize that it's not just your world, sorry. It's our world. We're sharing it whether you like it or not. We have a responsibility to each other, all of us in this school, this town, this country, and this planet, to recognize the ripple effects our actions and words have on others. We can contribute to the greater good by thinking of others, practicing courtesy, and making connections. Let's try to make this world a little more like a Disney movie and less like an episode of Game of Thrones. Thank you.